What is up, lads? It's CM9 here. A victory over Lille. First Champions League win this season. This was needed. This was so needed. And, well, especially when you're going away from home for the very first time in Europe, it's going to be a bit daunting for these young guys. But they got the job done, and I'm absolutely pleased. Although, it has to be said, it wasn't the perfect game. But a win is a win. 3 points is 3 points, and they are much needed because we've got Ajax to come in the next two Champions League games. And, you know, if you look at Ajax right now, they are absolutely flying it right now. They beat Lille in the opening game, and then today they just hammered Valencia in Spain 3-0. So, yeah, it was really vital to get 3 points here. So, I mean, if we'd have gone with a draw here, and then go into those two games against Ajax with just 1 point, it would be really aggravating and really bad. Really bad choice of words there, but, you know, especially when you're on the spot. Anyway, let's just talk about the team that played today. So we went with 3-4-2-1 today. So we go with Kepa in goal, Azpilicueta, Zuma and Tomori in as the centre-backs, Reece James, N'Golo Kante, Jorginho and Marcus Alonso as the midfield. Two attacking centre forwards or centre mid, or whatever you want to call them, Willian and Mason Mount. Up front, Tammy Abraham. Now, for the majority of the first half, I honestly thought that we were all over them. Literally all over them. It looked more like a Maurizio Sarri first half than a Frank Lampard first half, because we literally had more possession. And to be honest, I think we had more possession than Lille throughout the entirety of that game. The first half, it was all about patience. Building up to that first goal, scored by Tammy Abraham. And it was an assist, I believe, by Tomori. I think he got the ball from the left and then he crossed it into the box. And then Abraham controlled it, turned. Very similar to how Drogba would have scored. But yeah, he turned and he fizzed it into the corner. It looked like it was offside when he hit the ball. But when they looked at the actual positioning of where the ball was played and then in line with the defence, Abraham was onside when he made the run to receive the ball and then span and put the ball in. But yeah, that was 1-0. And then, ladies and gentlemen, can I just ask, what is it with set pieces? Why can we not defend set pieces? We'll get to that in a little bit, but let's just start off by saying we went 1-0 up and then Lille started to feel their way into the game, getting chance after chance after chance. And they were getting closer and closer until that corner kick that they got. And yeah, they fizzed in the corner and their striker headed it straight in. And it just goes by what I've been saying. What is it with set pieces? Why can we not defend them? It's crazy. It's unbelievable. It's just basic marking. Basic zonal marking that you just can't get right. And well, it just goes to show you that if you're not there at the right time, and the striker is going to meet that corner, he's going to head the ball in. And that's exactly what their front man did to level the score for Lille. And then straight after Lille had equalised, at the end of that first half, we started to dip a little bit. We started to make sloppy passes. Defence was a little bit shaky at times. There was a massive gap between midfield and defence. And there was just like so many pockets that Lille just exploited, and they had like more chances in front of goal. And that was the big kicker for Lille. That was their big opportunity to get not just an equaliser, but maybe a goal before half time. And I was a little bit worried. But half time it was 1-1. Now the second half it changed a little bit, because what I intended that Lampard would do at half time was take off Willian, because I thought Willian was, in the first half especially, I thought he wasn't great. Yes, he scored later on, and bloody hell, it was a great good volley later on. But Willian, overall, he wasn't great. And I really wanted to see him come off, because maybe for Kovacic, because we need that creativity. But we also need a little bit more coverage at the back, because there's a little bit of space between the defence and the midfield. And, you know, when Lille had all that space to move around with the ball, there wasn't any... Okay, yes, Kante had the ball and he was pushing it forward, but we just needed that extra coverage. And I don't think we had that. So in order for that to happen, maybe take off one of the wing guys and then bring on Kovacic to add a bit more creativity, because Jorginho and Kovacic could sort of like do extra duty in pummeling the ball over to Abraham, but then also have that coverage back from Kante. That's what I was hoping, but Lampard didn't make any changes, which was quite surprising coming out of the second half. But there was a big key moment in the game, which was Lille lost one of their players. I can't remember, I think it was their number 10, who was giving us a lot of grief in the first half, and I think his name was Ikane or something like that. What was it? I think I've got the numbers here. Ikone. Yes, I've got it right here. Number 10 for Lille. He was a big headache in the first half, but he had to come off because he picked up an injury, and then they had to completely change up their formation. They had to change their system completely, Lille. But it was that sort of brought them down a bit. But then it was our opportunity to go forward and get our chance. So many chances we had. And well, we were wasting them. Completely wasting them. But then Lampard made a few changes. He brought off Reece James, which at first I thought, what is Lampard doing? But, it's Reece James' first Champions League match. He's 19 years of age. Don't really want to put pressure on him too much. Take him off. Bring on Hudson-Odoi. Add a little bit of pace up front. And it worked. It worked. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it was Hudson-Odoi that gave the assist to Willian to score the second goal. Great work by Hudson-Odoi to keep hold of the ball, shrug off the defender, and then cross the ball in. And then Willian with a volley. I think it bounced, he volleyed it, ball bounced over the goalkeeper and into the far corner. It was a great finish. Really enjoyed that. And it won us the game. It was a winning goal. But then we had other people. I think we had other players come off as well. We had Mason Mount. No, it was Willian coming off for Pedro, because I think Willian got a cramp later on. And the same for Mason Mount. And then Kovacic came on. Let's just talk about individual players now. Mason Mount. I think he was okay. In the second half, I think he had a little bit of trouble getting into the game because of the intense defending that Lille were putting on. So Mason Mount had a little bit of trouble in the second half. And especially if you've got no service. Tammy Abraham also kind of struggled a little bit as well. He did score, and I've got to be honest with you, it was a Drogba-esque type goal in the first half, and I'm not going to take that away from him. But Tammy Abraham, 50-50 for me. I think it's all about the service that you give to Tammy Abraham. If you give him the right service, if you give him plenty of it, he's going to have a good game. He's going to worry defences, let's be honest. If he doesn't get the service, you know what I mean? Like, it's judgmental when you're talking about the front man. You got to make sure you get the service. That's important. Mason Mount had a little bit of trouble feeling his way in the game, but I felt that he was 50-50. He had a good... He put in some good balls in, but then again, you could argue that there were times in the game where he should have done a little bit better. Willian was a little bit frustrating up until the point where he scored the goal. However, there were good things that he did do, so I'm not saying it's all bad for Willian, but it was, like, especially the goal, and especially that he made some good passes. But then he had a cramp earlier on. That's why Pedro had to come on. Reece James, I thought, had a good game. He did get a booking, apparently, according to this. He did get a booking. But I thought he had a good game. He made some great runs down the middle. Instantly a better pick to play at that right side than Azpilicueta is. Azpilicueta played more of a central role, alongside Zuma and Tomori. Speaking of our defence, though, there is one thing that we are lacking, and that is a leader. I think Rudiger just offers a bit more leadership. He needs to play alongside Tomori, who, again, Tomori was excellent. Made a little few mistakes at the end. Like, there were real worries right at the end where Lille looked like they were going to get a second goal to equalise. Like, Tomori making passes back to Kepa when he didn't want the ball, and Kepa made that miss kick, and then Lille got the ball back, and then Kepa had to make up for loose ends, and he was blaming Tomori for that. But overall, I think Tomori had an excellent game. Kurt Zouma, early on, I thought he made some minor mistakes, but I thought as the game went on, he looked a little bit more solid. So that's all I can say about Kurt Zouma. Marcos Alonso was a little bit frustrating, especially in the first half when he was trying to cross the ball. And you know how it is with Alonso and crosses. It's like mixing oil and water. You just can't do it. I don't understand why he lasted the entire game, but I just think his crosses were a little bit frustrating to watch, especially in the first half. But anyway, Jorginho and Kante. I thought Jorginho was pretty... I wouldn't say that it was his best game, but I thought he was okay. He was okay. He wasn't great, Jorginho, but he was okay. Good link-up play a few times. Great balls. I'm not going to say it was his best game. But no, I think today was a big win. Especially when, you know, we got Ajax for the next 2 games. And we really needed to win that. Because if that was a draw and Ajax would have gone maximum points, Valencia would have lost. But we would have still been behind Valencia going into those 2 games against Ajax. And, you know, Ajax are looking damn good. If we would have lost both of those games, then that next game against Valencia comes up and then it starts to get really, really shaky. So a win was definitely needed here. Doesn't matter how you get it. I don't care about not getting the clean sheet. I just want to see us win. And that's all that matters. I don't care about anything else, to be fair. But yeah, I'm quite happy with this result. A win. That's all that matters, right? I like to see Chelsea win games. But it was a very Sarri-esque game. But we got the job done. Set pieces really need to improve. They really, really need to improve. I don't want to see us conceding any more set pieces because it's just really frustrating to watch that. It really, really is. So that needs to improve. I don't know if it's going to improve like that. It's not gonna happen like that. But I just want to see them improve over time. I don't want to see any more set pieces being conceded. But then positive changes. Lampard makes positive changes. He brings on Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi gets the assist for Willian to bang in the winner later on in the second half. So I'm pleased. I'm really pleased. It's better to get a win today and go into those 2 games against Ajax than drawing, only get 1 point and going against Ajax. Because you know what? If we lose those 2 games and then we get that game against Valencia later on, it doesn't look good for us. It doesn't look good. But we got the win, and that's all that matters. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. Let me know what you thought of that game in the description down below. Check out my social media links in the description. And I will see you in the next video. Until then, I shall see you later. Hey door, and peace.